be mindful of others around you. So a lot of other things going on. We do have almost 2 pages here of upcoming events, and I'll kind of scan through those very quickly. Overdose prevention team meeting, Burhans Boulevard, tomorrow, Wednesday, November the 6th. Homewood celebration of veterans at Homewood in Williamsport. That's on Thursday the 7th at 11 a.m. Aviation Education and Career Expo is this Friday. Starts at 9 a.m. out at the Aviation Museum. Dyslexia Simulation, Wortman Photography, 59 North Potomac Street, this Saturday at 2 p.m. Chamber Foundation Legacy Fundraiser, Washington County Agricultural Center, on Saturday the 9th at 3 p.m. Premiere of the new Antietam National Battlefield Park film, Maryland Theater. And that is Monday, November the 11th at 6 p.m. I'm sure that'll be very nice. Greater Hagerstown Committee meet and greet reception for new and current elected officials, Bulls and Bears, on November the 13th at 4:30 p.m. Grand opening of Ruth's Market, Sweet Notes Bakery, and Audra Wealth, Thursday, November the 14th at 11 a.m. And Boonesboro Economic Development Networking meet and greet, the American Legion in Boonesboro on the 14th at 6 p.m. Washington County Treatment Court graduation, Friday, November the 15th at 1 p.m., St. John's Episcopal Church, and that's up on South Prospect Street. And finally, last but not least, is the 2024 Capitol Christmas Tree Tour. The large Christmas tree being taken to the Capitol grounds will come through Hagerstown on Tuesday, November the 19th at 5:30 p.m. It'll make a stop in front of the Maryland Theater, and I think the city's planning a celebration for that as it travels through our community. So a lot of things upcoming and a lot of good events. So anything else we've missed? Hearing none, we'll move into staff comments, and County Administrator Michelle Gordon, I think, has comments.
Okay, thank you. I did attend the evening town meeting with the town of Clear Spring, and I'd like to thank Mayor Blickenstaff and Juanita for their hospitality that night. Spirit Week last week was a huge success for our staff, and I'd like to thank our Human Resources Department for coordinating that and to make sure that we let all of our employees know how much they're appreciated. I also attended Maryland Theater Board meeting. I'd like to thank our public safety personnel and volunteer partners for battling several wildfires in the area recently. I took a tour of a local manufacturing business. I'd like to thank our staff in Parks and Recreation and the Sheriff's Office for putting on the Trunk or Treat event this year. I also attended a Mako Budget and Finance affiliate meeting. I attended Chamber Eggs and Issues event where Carl Anderton was the guest speaker, who is the Rural Economic Development Strategist for our area. I also attended the Washington County Community Coalition meeting to discuss our 2025 county legislative priorities. I just want to remind our commissioners that Washington County Day in Annapolis is scheduled for Wednesday, January 22nd from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. There is no meeting next week, and our next meeting will be held on November the 19th. That's everything I have.
Okay, thank you. Next up is citizens' participation. This is an opportunity for citizens to comment about an issue or issues of county practices and interests. This is not an interactive dialogue or question and answer session. It is solely a time to hear from our citizens and their comments. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes or less. Good morning.
Just want to make sure we get the facts right here. Mr. Klein was incorrect. Derek Harvey's 63 today. Happy birthday, Derek.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I stand corrected. Thank you.
Okay, we have any other comments this morning? Yes.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Joseph Rathfon. I live at 1098 Bramley Drive, Hagerstown, Maryland, and I'm the immediate past commander of Morse Rock Post 42, the American Legion, located on Northern Avenue. I'm here this morning to thank the county and its staff for the improvements made to the Veterans Memorial at Marty Snook Park. I'd like to thank Tim Rowland, Davey Gross, Ernie Reese, Mike Nelson, Craig Mills, Greg Plotter, R.D. Kettner, Scott Brown, Ben Gorza, Eddie Motes, Kyle Luther, John Allen, Danny Hickson, and Jamie Dick. They installed a much-needed sidewalk from the upper parking lot near the pool to the monument and placed the benches on concrete pads and did some other improvements. We have a memorial there, or a wreath-laying ceremony there every Veterans Day at 9 a.m., rain or shine, and sometimes with the older vets, it's very difficult for them to make it up the hill from the lower parking lot using the ramp or across the soggy grass. And those improvements are much appreciated. I'd also like to thank Daryl Moore for his years of assisting us on Veterans Day. He comes in and ensures that our wreath-laying ceremonies held across the street at the courthouse are successful. Morris Rock this year is not holding their wreath-laying ceremony at the courthouse, but we'll be having it at the post at 11 a.m. And I wanted to thank his years of coming in on Veterans Day and helping us out with that. And while I have your time, bring to your attention some other events on Veterans Day. Boonesboro High School will have their veterans program on Friday. The American Legion in Boonesboro will be participating in that.
What time is that on Friday?
I am unaware.
Okay.
Monday at 9 a.m., the Joint Veterans Council will hold their wreath-laying ceremony at Marty Snook Park. At 11 o'clock on Monday, Sharpsburg will be holding a ceremony at 11 o'clock. Post 42 will be holding one at 11 o'clock. Funkstown will be holding one at 11 o'clock. And Williamsport will be holding one at 11 o'clock. They also have a breakfast from 8 to 11. So I'd encourage you guys to come out, and everyone in the community come out and partake in one of these wreath-laying ceremonies. It really means a lot. Also, in the afternoon at 2 p.m., the Joint Veterans Council will hold their wreath-laying ceremony at the Vietnam Memorial on Walnut Point. And Smithsburg usually holds theirs at 2 p.m. at Veterans Park. And Clear Spring, American Legion will be holding theirs at 6 p.m. At their post. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, other citizens' participation this morning? Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on with the schedule. End of year FY24 budget adjustments to the Washington County Board of Education's general fund budget. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeff Prue, Chief Operating Officer of Washington County Public Schools.
Eric Sisler, Executive Director of Finance for Washington County Public Schools.
The matter we're presenting this morning is the end of the year FY 2024 budget adjustments for the Board of Education. You may recall we were here in June and expected at that time that those would be the final adjustments for the year. The summary you have is the final summary of the standings of each of the 13 categories identified by the school accounting manual referenced by MSDE. A special note is we actually had an overexpense in the capital outlay account, which we were not anticipating. Those are for expenses that were coming from committed fund reserves that the board had set aside to close out the diesel project and the renovations to the technical high school. Our new accounting firm, Clifton Larson Allen, wanted to see all of the expenses coming from committed funds to run through the general fund to the committed fund. That's why you see that overexpense. The net result of that for the end of the year is a fund balance of $6.4 million, and specifically the net effect to the general fund balance is a positive balance of $6.9 million at year end, approximately 2% of the board's total budget for the year. With that, we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
How much of that was a result of salary savings?
It's spread across, I don't know if we have that aggregate, but because it would hit multiple different, each category has salaries in them.
Correct. And it would have been about 3.2 million less, except for we still were benefiting from using COVID ESSER funds. We had about 2.2 million in special ed contracted services that we were able to utilize some COVID funds.
So it's over 3 million in salary savings, is that right?
I would think that's accurate.
It's probably around there.
Okay.
Motion to approve. Oh, you second.
Motion and second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, Governor's Office of Crime Control and Prevention, Residential Substance Abuse Treatment Program, approval to submit application and accept funding. Morning, Richard.
Good morning. Richard Lesh, Office of Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management. Here this morning, oh, there we go.
Hi, Megan Willis, Director of the Day Reporting Center at the Washington County Sheriff's Office.
We're here to request a motion to approve the submission of the grant application for the Residential Substance Abuse Treatment Program to the Governor's Office of Crime Control Prevention in the amount of $450,000 and accept the award funding. The Residential Substance Abuse Treatment Program enhances the capability of the states and units of local government to provide residential substance use treatment for pretrial defendants and incarcerated inmates, and prepares offenders for their reintegration into the communities from which they came by incorporating reentry planning activities into treatment programs, and assist offenders and their communities through the reentry process through delivery of community-based treatment and other broad-based aftercare services. The treatment practices and services will be, to the extent possible, evidence-based.
Okay,
Motion to approve the submission and acceptance of the $450,000 award funding grant.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you. Next item is Contract Award PUR 1709, Financial Advisor Services.
Good morning, Brandy Nagelbauer in the Purchasing Department.
Kelsey Mace, Chief Financial Officer.
The first recommendation I have for you this morning is the Contract Award PUR 1709, Financial Advisor Services. Move to award the contract for Financial Advisor Services to the responsive responsible bidder, First Tryon Advisors out of Annapolis, Maryland, with a total five-year proposal of $70,000, plus out-of-the-pocket expenses related to bond issues. The hourly rates per employee classification are listed in the R for these services. The request for proposal was listed on the county's website, the state's website, the local newspaper, and the new purchasing online bidding site. 3 proposals were received. All 3 proposals were deemed responsive, and all 3 pricing proposals were opened. The initial term of the contract is for a 1-year period, tentatively to begin December 1st, 2024, ending November 30th, 2025. There is the option for the county to pick up 4 consecutive 1-year renewals for this contract. Funding in the amount of $90,000 has been budgeted in CIP for these services.
Questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is this who we've been with, or?
No, I believe it's a change. We were with Davenport. And Davenport and Company is who we were using. They handle our bond issuances.
Is that going to be an issue for us, switching bonding counsel?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Everybody, you're good with it?
I mean, I think we have a great relationship with Davenport and Company, and as long as Kelsey doesn't believe that changing to First Tryon will create an issue, then we have no choice but to go with the lowest bidder.
Okay. Ready to vote then? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you.
Brandy Nagelbauer in the Purchasing Department.
Kristen Gross-Nichols, Circuit Court Administrator.
The last recommendation I have for you this morning is the bid award 1703, bullet-resistant barriers. Move to award the contract for bullet-resistant barriers at the Circuit Court of Washington County to the responsible bidder, GCCM Corporation out of Lorton, Virginia, for the amount of $57,959.99. The county accepted bids on September 11th. The invitation to bid was listed on the State of Maryland's website, the county's website, the local newspaper, and the new online bidding site for the county. 26 companies downloaded the document, and we did receive 3 bids. This is for the purchase and installation of bullet-resistant barriers at the Washington County Circuit Courthouse. It shall include all labor and materials to install 1 Level 3 bullet-resistant storefront wall and 2 Level 3 bullet-resistant doors. Funds are available for this purchase in the amount of $57,959.99, and this is a grant-funded project.
Motion?
Motion to
Discussion?
approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is intergovernmental cooperative purchase, 24-0165, 1 Mack chassis cab dump truck.
Morning, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing.
Meaning Gutsy, Deputy Director, Water Quality.
Up before you is intergovernmental cooperative purchase, INTG 24-0165 for 1 Mack dump truck. Recommended motion authorized by resolution, the Department of Water Quality to purchase 1 Mack dump truck from Baltimore Truck Centers Incorporated for Hagerstown, Maryland, an amount of $166,858.30, and to utilize another jurisdiction's contract. It was awarded by Sourcewell to Mack Trucks Incorporated. Department of Water Quality is requesting to replace a 26-year-old dump truck that meets the county's guideline for replacement. The replacement truck will be sold on Gov Deals for auctioning. The Code of Public Law does allow for this body to participate in a bid that was handled by another jurisdiction as long as we use that bid as awarded. And there is a cost savings for utilizing that bid. You can see the funds available for the purchase and the alternative if you decided not to grant the purchase. And there's an attachment for Baltimore Truck for the price quote. Are there any questions?
Okay, any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, 4-0. Thank you. Next item is intergovernmental cooperative purchase, 24-0164, personal protective equipment and PPE for Division of Emergency Services.
Again, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing.
Eric Jacobs, Emergency Services.
This is intergovernmental cooperative purchase, INTG 24-0164, personal protective equipment for Division of Emergency Services. Recommended motion by resolution for the approval of the purchase of 50 sets of personal protective equipment, which consist of coats and pants for the Division of Emergency Services, for Municipal Emergency Services of Rockville, Maryland, at a contracted unit prices totaling $204,417.50, based on a contract awarded by Fairfax County, Virginia. Code of Public Law does allow this body to participate in a bid that we were not part of, as long as we use that bid as was awarded. As you can see in the discussion, the breakdown of what the contract does offer as far as the percentage off for the pants and the jackets. Also, there is a fiscal impact you can see was budgeted for this purchase, and there's MES price quote attached. Questions?
I just got a curious question for Eric. How these, obviously we're resupplying, what's the lifespan of that?
So the current standard's 10 years.
Okay.
And a lot of this is compliance issues with the volunteer personnel. A lot of those companies had AFG grants, and they're coming at the end of term, so the replacement program has been pretty productive along those lines and getting them back into compliance.
So we monitor and try to keep them that under 10 years before we replace them?
Yeah, so right now we're at like 75% countywide with compliance too. And what'll start happening is we'll go through that rotation process where that 6-year mark will come and we'll be able to get them back through into that 10-year cycle.
Okay, that answers that. Thank you. Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. 4-0. Two more items here. Request for proposal award PUR 1697 lighted drone show for the semi-quincentennial 250th anniversary celebration.
Again, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing.
Danielle Weaver, Director of Public Relations and Marketing.
So before you is request for proposal award PUR 1697, lighted drone show for the centennial celebration. Recommended motion to award the contract for the lighted drone show to the responsive vendor, Firefly Drone Shows LLC of Waterford, Michigan, for the lump sum amount of $107,950 and contingent upon the company being in good standing and authorized and registered to do business in the state of Maryland with the Department of Assessments and Taxation and remaining so throughout the term of the contract. As you can see, the lighted drone show will be regulated by the FAA regulations. Also, the county accepted the proposals as on June 18th, 2024. The proposal was advertised in the various medias, newspaper, websites, the new county online bidding site. We did receive one proposal. I'll let Danielle talk about the offset of the discussion if you want to talk about participation.
Yeah, we're hoping to gain sponsorships that'll cover most of the drone show or a portion of it, or if not, all of the funds that we're asking for. We anticipate getting sponsorships for the entire event. So there's going to be different sponsorship packages available, and we're working on getting those together now. And we're hoping that the presenting sponsor of the event will be part of the drone show.
So the money, if it's like out of hotel motel, the money we get from sponsorship will go back into hotel motel? Is that how that works? Or it'll pay for the drone show and we won't need the money from?
That's the hope. It would go back towards it.
But we don't pay that, we haven't paid that up front yet.
Hopefully you get the sponsorships up front, and you don't have to draw anything from the hotel motel money,
That's
correct?
the hope, because we're going to start working on gaining those sponsorships now because people are planning for that year.
Have you decided on any sponsorship levels or anything?
We're working on a package, so there is going to be different sponsorship levels. We're going to do larger sponsorships that are available, and then ones that
And one other question, how will the sponsors be promoted, or what tribute would they be given for their donation? Recognition, I guess, is the word.
So the different levels are going to have different availability. We will definitely be putting everyone on our social media. We'll have banners and things like that around the event. We're going to be putting them on our website. They'll be in some radio ads, things like that. And then the hope is to, if we get a large enough sponsor for the event, the presenting sponsor would be in the drone show. Like, so their logo would be displayed in the drone show.
Danielle, I'm not familiar with a drone show, but my best guess tells me it's kind of like an alternative to fireworks.
Yeah, so, and also the drone companies have something called pyro drones now. So there would be some effects. We could add some pyro drones to the presentation. But what happens is it's like an 18 to 20 minute show, and there'll be different variations of the 250th logo will definitely be in there. We're hoping then the presenting sponsor's logo will go in there. And then based off of the 4th of July, different, possibly the Eagle, the Statue of Liberty, there's different things that can go into it. And so we'll work with that company to decide on what formations are made, and it will be played to music.
We have
patriotic music.
I was going to say, we have a sample video of drone shows that have happened in other areas. I'll forward that to you.
Okay. And do we have a venue picked out?
The event's going to be held at the Ag Center.
the drone show would be there.
Yes, it would be part of the event. So the hope is to have different bands that play throughout the day, and then the ending presentation would be the drone show, with hopefully some pyro drones too, to add that aspect of fireworks.
Okay.
And the level of amenities that we have at this event will depend on the level of sponsorship that we receive. And adding additional pyrotechnics or even fireworks will also depend on the level of sponsorships we receive.
Yes.
Okay, we have a
Motion to approve.
motion. We have a second?
Second, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Okay, 4-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is Quotation Award 24-793, Rubik Enterprise Data Protection for Information Technology Department.
Again, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing.
Josh O'Neill, Chief Technical Officer, Information Systems.
This is a Quotation Award Q 24-793, Rubik Enterprise Data Protection for Information Technology Department. Recommended motion to award the quotation for Rubik Enterprise Data Protection to the responsive bidder, GHA Technology Incorporated of Scottsdale, Arizona, who submitted a responsive total lump sum of $349,284.39 for these services. As you can see, Rubik's Enterprise Data Backup and ransomware protection product consisting of hardware, software, cloud service to replace the county's current backup solutions, which depends on hardware that reaches its end of life cycle. Code of Public Law states that contracts over $50,000 for purchase or other expenditure shall be awarded by the board to the lowest responsible bidder who submits a responsive bid. Requests for quotations are processed for purchases of commodities and services not exceeding $50,000 and are normally awarded at the departmental level in concurrence with the purchasing department. Due to the recommendation of the award, the cost for the, and that's a mistake there, it's not camera installation, but it's the Rubik data, exceeding $50,000, quotation is before the board for an award. It is anticipated these services would not exceed $50,000. It was anticipated these services would be quoted below the $50,000 threshold, would not have required using an invitation to bid advertisement process. As such, request for quotation process was followed and not the formal bid process. As noted previously, a significant number of vendors viewed the document. As such, we do not believe publicly advertising the project in a newspaper or through the state's website would have yielded any difference in the final outcome. Given the value of the quotation, the Board of County Commissioners' approval is necessary to award the purchase of the equipment. You can see the funds are available for the purchase and the quotation from GHA Technology Incorporated. Questions?
Comments, thoughts?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
4-0, thank you very much. And before, Rick, before you leave, the doors are blocked by your staff. And we have a very, very special presentation for Rick Curry, our Director of Purchasing, for nearly 4 decades of impeccable service to Washington County government. And it's very rare in today's employment world that someone spends 40 years with one, at one facility, and we are just overwhelmed by your dedication, your hard work, your expertise, and just can't say enough. So
I can give 40 more.
Is that a motion? Is that a motion? All in favor?
I think I can get a motion in a second on that. I see a lot of smiles back here in the corner that would probably agree to that.
Yeah, they're a good bunch. I
So-
couldn't do without them.
If you want to come up to the flags, we have a proclamation here for you. You want staff to come up with you?
Please.
I would say, Rick, you want to make any comments?
All I want to say is that I have a good bunch of individuals that work with me. We do get bogged down at times, but we do come through. We help one another, and we are a family. And I will miss each one of them.
Just go ahead and take a couple pictures just with the staff.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
This proclamation on behalf of the county commissioners is being presented to Rick F. Curry, resolution of appreciation. Whereas Rick began his career with Washington County government on March 19th, 1985 as a transit driver. And whereas during his over 39 years of employment, Rick worked in various departments of Washington County government, including the Transit Department, Highways Department, Parks and Recreation Department, Water Quality Department, and finally, the Purchasing Department. And whereas Rick received his associate's degree in business administration in 2014 from Hagerstown Community College and his bachelor's of science degree from Frostburg University in 2017. Rick is an active member of the National Institute of Governmental Purchasing, Incorporated, earning his certified professional buyer certification in 1999 and his certified public procurement officer in 2013. He has been a member of the Maryland Public Purchasing Association since 1997, serving as nominating chair for many years, holding a seat on the board of directors for 2 continuous terms and vice president for 2020 and 2021. And whereas during his career with Washington County, Rick did enhance the lives of the citizens of our community. Now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Maryland, offer our sincerest appreciation and best wishes in recognition of Rick F. Curry's retirement as the Director of Purchasing with Washington County Government, presented this 5th day of November 2024.
Thank you.
We do a group photo, or do you guys?
Well, we can. I can hop in here. We'll get it with Rick.
All right, ready? 1.
Everybody.
All right.
All right, Jeff, thank you.
Rick,
Yeah, come down here in the middle. Yeah, we'll do one with everybody.
You're good, Rick.
Hi.
No,
No, he got me on that one.
You know, you never know when there's snitches out there.
They told me to act real quick while you were still sitting. They were afraid you'd bolt in the door.
I got to use the rest of my right back.
I was being coached back there this morning to operate quickly.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. Daniel, let's get one with the correct. Yeah, that was fine. Randy, we're gonna get one more. 2 and 2.
That'd be perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you. You'll be around. Yes.
Does that still mean you're gonna have chili up there every Friday or every other Friday?
Yeah.
I want hot dogs.
Take it with you cooking.
That's chili. Yeah, they have chili every other Friday. Oh, yeah, they eat good.
Okay, I need a motion to go into closed session to discuss confidential personnel matters, to consult with counsel, to obtain legal advice, and to consider a matter that concerns proposal for a business or industrial organization.
motion to go in closed session.
Second.
Motion is second. Ready to vote? All in favor? All right.
All right.
Okay. Need to take a